It rained last night, and I got cold. I start freezing. This weather is, up and on.
Kid rode down here and like no vacation. There's not night camping at all.
Either have power or I don't have power, so I couldn't really get any weather advisories on my phone.
Sit it out. I mean, even though it was raining on me and it was nothing I can do, it was nowhere to go, and this was my best option.
At minus 20 degrees Celsius, the greatest danger is sometimes not the cold itself, but the way people try to fight it. Inside RVs, essentially just thin metal boxes on wheels, winter is not merely uncomfortable. It is a true battle for survival. The insulation is thin, the floors allow drafts to creep in, and the windows constantly leak heat. A single wrong decision in heating can lead to serious consequences, even costing a life. Welcome to the Homeless Fact, where we confront the truths few dare to discuss, especially the harsh survival realities of the homeless community and those living in our verses. In this video, we break down winter heating methods one by one, from sealing gaps and using low-cost materials like bubble wrap to the deadly risks associated with propane and carbon monoxide. What truly works? What quietly carries life-threatening danger? If you value grounded, unfiltered analysis like this, press like to support the Homeless Fact. Subscribe so you don't miss upcoming topics, and leave a comment sharing your perspective. Your insight could help someone understand correctly and survive a brutal winter. The first line of defense seal to survive. Reports from RV communities across colder states reveal that heat loss does not primarily come from weak heating systems, but from overlooked gaps. Cold air slips through door edges, window frames, utility vents, and even floor joints. When outside temperatures plunge deep below zero, even a gap just a few millimeters wide can continuously siphon warm air out. That is why the first step is not increasing heating output, but controlling heat leakage, the foundation of any winter survival strategy. Many use insulation foam, rubber door seals, and draft snakes along the base of doors to create simple yet effective mechanical barriers. Plastic shrink film applied to windows forms a pocket of still air, significantly reducing heat transfer through glass. This solution is inexpensive, easy to install, and can noticeably improve interior temperatures overnight. However, excessive sealing may lead to moisture buildup and poor air circulation, introducing a new problem that must be carefully calculated. When warmth becomes the fragile line between life and death. For many living in RVs during brutal winters, warmth is no longer comfort. It is hope. When night falls and temperatures plummet, every gust of wind scraping against the vehicle walls feels like a reminder that nature shows no mercy. Inside that confined space, a thick blanket, a hot water bottle placed at the feet, or bubble wrap taped to the windows suddenly becomes a precious asset. People are not only trying to preserve body heat, but also to protect their mental resilience against the crushing weight of prolonged cold and isolation. Yet within that struggle to survive, danger is never far away. A propane heater placed too close to the bed, a night with every gap sealed but no ventilation, or a single careless moment with carbon monoxide. Any of these can turn sleep into tragedy. There have been heartbreaking stories of individuals drifting into what felt like peaceful drowsiness, unaware it was the onset of poisoning from a colorless, odorless gas. In those moments, the line between safety and catastrophe becomes thinner than ever. And that is why the real question is not only how to stay warmer, but how to survive the long, freezing night safely. Windows, the greatest source of heat loss, yet often overlooked. According to thermal efficiency experts, windows are among the fastest areas of heat loss in compact spaces like RVs. Thin glass without specialized insulation allows interior warmth to escape rapidly as temperatures plunge. On sub-zero nights, simply placing a hand near the glass is enough to feel the cold radiating inward. What is striking is that many people focus on reinforcing doors, while forgetting that the surface area of the windows is, in fact, the largest leak point. This reality makes window treatment an indispensable step in any comprehensive heat retention strategy. One of the most common and cost-effective solutions is applying bubble wrap directly to the glass using a thin layer of water. The small air pockets act as an insulating cushion, significantly reducing heat transfer while still allowing light to pass through. Additionally, reflective insulation materials such as Reflectix can be cut to fit window frames, bouncing heat back into the living space. Many also use thick curtains or temporarily hang blankets at night to create a second barrier. However, sealing windows completely for extended periods can cause moisture buildup, so ventilation during sunny hours is essential. In practice, properly addressing windows alone can significantly stabilize interior temperatures without increasing heating output. Once the largest source of heat loss is controlled, subsequent reinforcement measures can truly reach their full potential. The floor, the silent front line beneath your feet. Field reports from winter RV communities highlight a decisive yet often overlooked truth. Heat does not escape only through windows or roofs. It is continuously drawn away from underneath. Unlike fixed homes with foundations and thick insulation, RVs are elevated on wheels, allowing cold air to flow directly beneath their thin metal floors. When temperatures drop below 0 degrees Celsius, the floor surface can become so cold that feet go numb within minutes of contact. This is no longer a matter of comfort, but a silent risk of hypothermia. For many, the ground beneath their feet becomes a true front line in survival. Experts frequently recommend installing a skirting barrier system enclosing the underside of the RV to block direct wind exposure. Materials can be simple: heavy-duty tarps, foam boards, plywood, or even repurposed billboard panels. When installed correctly, skirting traps a layer of still air beneath the RV, significantly stabilizing interior temperatures and reducing strain on heating systems. However, sealing the area completely may create moisture buildup, freeze water lines, and cause cracking during sharp temperature fluctuations. Specialists therefore advise leaving controlled ventilation openings to balance heat retention and airflow. Experience shows that staying warm is not about increasing heating power, but about controlling strategic points of heat loss. Once the floor is properly protected, the entire RV structure can achieve genuine thermal stability, forming a safer foundation for every additional solution. Dye heating, affordable but far from simple. With rising fuel costs and limited electricity access, many RV dwellers turn to manual heating methods. The most widely shared is the terracotta pot heater placed over several tea light candles, a budget winter survival hack that has spread rapidly across social media. In principle, the clay absorbs heat from the candles and radiates it outward, creating a warmer sensation in small spaces. In confined areas such as sleeping corners, temperatures may rise by a few degrees Celsius, enough to reduce the sting of cold. However, this is not a miracle solution, but a localized aid with limited effectiveness. Safety experts warn that any combustion source in a confined space carries fire and poisoning risks. Candles consume oxygen and can produce carbon monoxide if combustion is incomplete. A single moment of negligence, placing it too close to flammable materials, falling asleep while it is still burning, or failing to ventilate properly can result in severe consequences. Numerous RV fires have originated from such cost-saving solutions. Therefore, anyone choosing this method must place it on a heat-resistant surface, maintain safe distances, and always ensure a small ventilation gap for air exchange. More importantly, never sleep while an open flame is burning without a functioning carbon monoxide detector. The lesson is clear. In extreme conditions, creativity is necessary, but safety must always come before convenience. The body, the most underrated source of survival heat. Amid debates about heaters, propane, and insulation materials, one critical factor is often overlooked. The human body itself is the most efficient natural heater. According to survival experts, even at rest, an adult generates heat comparable to a small light bulb. In a confined space like an RV, knowing how to retain that heat can make the difference between a night of shivering and a restorative enough to recover. For this reason, the strategy for staying warm lies not only in equipment, but in how one manages their own body. Many people place a hot water bottle under their blankets before bed, helping maintain warmth for 6 to 8 hours. Microwave-heated rice bags, warmed stones wrapped in thick cloth, or even a simple bottle of warm water positioned near the feet are practical yet effective solutions. Additionally, eating a light snack rich in healthy fats before sleeping can stimulate metabolism, allowing the body to generate natural heat overnight. One small but significant detail: wearing a knit hat while sleeping can substantially reduce heat loss through the head, one of the fastest areas of thermal escape. However, staying warm does not mean completely sealing off airflow. Wearing too many suffocating layers may cause sweating, which ultimately makes the body colder as moisture accumulates. The key lies in balancing insulation and ventilation. When individuals understand their body's natural heat mechanisms, they do not merely endure the cold, they learn to control it. Collective warmth. When people become each other's shelter. On nights when temperatures plunge, there is a source of warmth that does not come from devices or fuel, but from human presence. Many RV dwellers admit that one of the most effective ways to stay warm is simply sleeping close together. Scientifically, two bodies in contact can significantly reduce heat loss, creating a warmer microclimate within a small space. Yet beyond physics, it also brings reassurance, something profoundly vital when the wind outside howls without mercy. In some temporary parking areas, RV communities deliberately park close together during winter to minimize direct wind exposure. Vehicles form a natural windbreak, reducing pressure on each unit. Inside, they share blankets, exchange insulation materials, and even take turns checking on one another during extreme cold nights. This connection is not only a survival tactic, but also a vital emotional support network in harsh conditions. However, proximity also raises safety standards. Each vehicle must maintain proper ventilation, avoid hazardous combustion sources, and be equipped with functioning gas detectors. In confined environments, one person's risk can endanger many others. Collective warmth is only sustainable when paired with shared responsibility. Propane lifeline or double-edged sword. When manual methods are no longer sufficient against deep sub-zero temperatures, many RV dwellers turn to propane heaters. These are considered powerful solutions, capable of heating quickly and maintaining stable temperatures in small spaces. Popular portable units equipped with oxygen depletion sensors are often marketed as safe for indoor use. In reality, when used correctly, propane can help maintain livable temperatures even during the harshest nights. Yet, it is precisely this convenience that can lead to complacency, and risk often begins with the smallest oversight. The first concern is moisture. Burning propane produces significant water vapor, leading to condensation on windows, damp walls, and over time, mold growth. In freezing conditions, that moisture can turn to ice, damaging structural components and plumbing lines. More serious is the risk of oxygen depletion and carbon monoxide buildup if equipment malfunctions or ventilation is inadequate. The tighter a space is sealed to preserve heat, the more easily it can become an invisible trap. For this reason, experts strongly recommend maintaining a small ventilation opening, conducting regular equipment checks, and always installing a properly functioning carbon monoxide detector. Propane can be a winter lifeline, but it is only truly safe when accompanied by knowledge and strict usage discipline. Carbon monoxide, the silent killer. In every analysis of winter survival in RVs, one threat consistently ranks at the highest level of danger: carbon monoxide, CO. Colorless, odorless, and tasteless, CO does not cause immediate burning sensations or discomfort. It seeps silently into enclosed spaces, replacing oxygen in the bloodstream and pushing the body into a state of deep drowsiness. Many victims are found in peaceful sleeping positions, with no signs of struggle or panic. It is precisely this deceptive gentleness that makes CO one of the deadliest hazards in combustion-based heating environments. Sources of CO in an RV can include malfunctioning propane heaters, improperly used gas stoves, generators placed too close to the vehicle, or even running the engine to borrow warmth. Within a space of just a few square meters, even a small accumulation of gas can cause severe poisoning in a short time. Safety experts emphasize a simple but life-saving principle: never operate combustion devices in enclosed spaces without proper ventilation and detection equipment. The most effective solution is also the most basic. Install a certified carbon monoxide detector and check its batteries regularly. The device is inexpensive, yet it can make the difference between life and death. In the battle against the cold, the greatest threat is sometimes not the temperature outside, but what we cannot see inside. Survival strategy. Not heating harder, but smarter. After examining insulation, propane, and toxic gas risks, one conclusion becomes clear. Surviving a brutal winter does not depend on generating more heat, but on preserving every small unit of warmth already created. Within the confined space of an RV, each properly sealed gap, each well-positioned wind barrier, and each added insulating layer reduces the strain on heating systems. Instead of running heaters continuously and consuming fuel, many adopt a reduced living zone strategy, concentrating warmth in sleeping and primary living areas rather than attempting to heat the entire vehicle. At the same time, moisture control becomes critical. Excess humidity intensifies the penetrating chill and increases the risk of mold and structural damage. Controlled ventilation, even a small crack left open, plays a crucial role in balancing safety and thermal efficiency. The combination of insulation, appropriate heating sources, and functional gas detection devices forms a layered defense system. Ultimately, the greatest lesson is not about expensive equipment, but about mindset. Long-term RV dwellers understand that winter cannot be defeated with complacency. It demands knowledge, discipline, and preparation down to the smallest detail. When strategy is built correctly, the cold is no longer a sentence, but a challenge that can be endured. And beyond all technical analysis of risk and survival strategy, what remains is not merely a story about temperature or heating devices, it is a story about people. In the biting cold of winter, the homeless and those living in RVs continue to adapt, to share experience, and to remind one another of the smallest safety principles to survive the long night together. They may not have thick walls or central heating systems, but they possess knowledge, resilience, and at times, quiet solidarity. That in itself forms the most enduring and invisible layer of insulation against human compassion. This winter may still be harsh. RVs may continue to tremble in the freezing wind, and temporary parking lots may remain covered in frost each dawn. Yet hope has not disappeared. Hope grows when knowledge is shared more widely. Hope grows when communities care more deeply. And hope grows when each of us begins to see them with understanding instead of indifference. May those experiencing homelessness be given more protection, more attention, and the chance to survive the cold seasons in safety. Amen.